Hey, what's up? Just wanted to kind of do a precursor to this. I recorded this back in '08 or '09, I'm not sure. And I'm digging through videos trying to get them off of tapes and onto drives right now, and I kind of came across it. And, back then I didn't really think this was quality enough to post, but and I really don't think so much right now, but I definitely think that this is something worth looking at, because it just gives you an idea of the insight that I myself have had about these botnets for, well, about a decade now. And we were watching them a long time ago. And it's just funny because now that Anonymous and Lulzsec has made this famous, the attitudes have changed. The FBI wouldn't even talk to us about botnets back in the day. And several large IRC networks were just basically supporting them. Anyway, enjoy this video. I hope you find something informative about it.
So here's what happens. I'm running vhosts on a web server, and I've got clients with some old stuff. I've even got some old stuff that hasn't been updated for a long time. Every once in a while, botnets spider my server, and every once in a great while they find a hole. Well, this week they found a hole, but what I wanted to show you was how I track these guys down, because we're going to go talk to the guys that compromised my server. Alright. So what I did, I wrote this nice little script. It's called Book'em. That's what I call it. And it gets me all the nice information and drops it into a text file whenever this happens on one of the servers that I manage. And these guys are pretty smart. When they drop the stuff on there, they've got stuff written in to erase all their tracks, including everything and every error and access log on the server. It doesn't matter how many you have, it's going to erase their tracks when they're done. I haven't found the file they're using. What they've done is somehow they have uploaded a file into a temporary or world writable directory and executed it as a Perl script. And this Perl script, I've seen these before. We will find it here, and I've seen it before. They're a great little interface, and they will allow them to find out all kinds of information on the server, find world writable directories, places to store stuff, and other things, as well as send email, which is what these guys are doing, and try to get me on the blacklist, the RVLs, and all that other stuff. So I've got to stop them before they make me a bad guy to everybody else. I can't do that, because then I won't be able to send mail anywhere. So first off, where these guys are from, and I've seen a lot of traffic. We've heard a lot of stuff about North Korea and China and their botnets and their hackers and all this other stuff. But what I've been seeing, and we were watching those guys 5 years ago, and we knew what they were up to, and we watched them grow, and we watched them do their stuff. But nobody cares when you tell them this, including the FBI. So what I did is I just watched them. I tracked them. I learned how to track them down. I went and talked to them. I would go talk to them if they compromised me. Ask them why they were doing what they were doing. And I've done this probably 10 times in the last few years, 15 times in the last few years. This is the first time I've ever documented it. And most of these guys have no real reason. Some of them do it for jollies. Some of them do it to distribute adult content. And some of them are doing it for political or social reasons, is what they're telling me. So, but one of the big things I got to stress is that one of the major honeypots of where this activity is coming from is Brazil right now. Brazil is terrible. I'm constantly battling off machines from Brazil. I've almost got the entire country blocked, and by the time this is done, I will have the entire country of Brazil blocked with my firewall, because I really don't care about doing business with Brazilians, because I just do business in the United States anyhow. I'm not an international type of thing, and nobody that I host for cares what the Brazilians think of their website. So, and I've done this with North Korea and China and several other countries in the far and Middle East, and some in Europe too, Romania, you know, the Russian sites. It's, you know, it seems like most of the more lawless countries as far as the internet go are honeypots for this kind of activity. So anyway, I've tracked this guy down, and I gotta get my, I'm gonna get a chat client up here, and we're gonna go talk to these guys, because I just want to see what they're up to. They may not talk to me, they may, I don't know. Sometimes, you know, they won't because they're scared. Alright. Just go like that. And alright, so here we go. We're connecting to the Brazilian server, but I forgot the port. So let's do it again. These guys are running their server on port 8080, and that's the funny part, is these bot guys, they think that if they can run an IRC server on an odd port, that you'll never figure out what they're doing, even if you find them connected to your server. And they're wrong, because it's obvious what they're doing. You know, when you've got a data connection from a continuous data connection from your server to their server, you know that there's a stream, and the first thing you can do is telnet to whatever port that you're connecting to. And so, you know, you tell, if you know the receiving address or domain like I do now, I can telnet that domain port, in this case 8080. They're running an IRC server on the alternate HTTP port. There we go. Now, look up your host name, checking ident, found your host name. irc.brazilirc.org. That's where this botnet's running out of. Gotta love that stuff. I bet you if I went and looked it up, this was probably some folks trying to run a pretty respectable network, but as you can see, they're not maintaining it and watching for bots. I mean, it's not very hard to find a bot, a bot herd on an IRC server. You know, it's a room full of clients that have the same name but a different number appended to the end of them. That's how they work it. They name all their bots the same way. When they come into the room, they can give, they all use the same commands and everything. They give one command and the whole botnet does what they tell it to do. So, we don't know where everybody's at, so let's do an L users. I gotta think about this. Okay, so it's showing here 0 users and 29 invisible on one server, 5 unknown connections, 3 channels formed. I have 29 clients and 0 servers. So let's see what channels are on here. So I've got the channels list, and I see I have number chat, number clones, and number trampo. So let's join number chat, because that's what I want to do. And I always like being a little funny about what I'm doing, so I give them a howdy because I'm from America, and I give them a smiley face. And I'm just going to kind of wait, because there's, as you can see, there's, you know, you might not be able to see this very well, but there's, about 10 clients in here. LYS 125, LYS 176, LYS 280, and then there's me, and then there's LYS, but not the same. They don't have numbers at the end of them. They got letters, and those are the guys that are running it. Those are people's computers with clients, and those guys come in every once in a while, and do whatever they do, attack people or try to spam millions of people or whatever. They tried spamming over 100,000 people through my server. Thank goodness it blocked them. But I got all of the bounce emails. So let's look at this. Let's see, what was the other channels? Let's see, let's try number clones. Hi. And we're going to do the third one, number trampo. Hiya. So in Trampo, they've got it set to where you can't even say anything unless you have voice. Spam by send mail of audios 1000 D2000. Naturally it's in Spanish. Oh, let's see what their bots are doing. Data spam asked by sendmail finalizado script. Trampo 1391 @spam http lys.empresarial.ws blah 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 .text http lys empresarial blah blah blah, and then there's an email address. So this thing's sitting here, I'm watching this send spam email off of somebody's server somewhere. And this is a really small operation. These guys aren't very big at all. They've probably got 20 or 30 bots in this server, and I couldn't imagine them doing it in other servers too. Maybe they do. This looks like, from the usernames, I'm guessing this is a 1 or 2 man gig. And I'm gonna block about a few million addresses here in a minute. Very impressive what these guys can do. So anyway, if I talk to them, I will come back and we will film what happens, and you will see the comedy unveil.